What was it that brought you joy when you were a child? What was it that allowed you to activate your joy when you were a child? And does that same thing activate your joy today? And if not, why aren't you allowing that to bring you joy? And so I asked this question to my workshop participants. I asked them about what brought them joy when they were a child, because for one thing, it's good to just kind of reflect on what that was. And because a lot of times it's like, well, people haven't even thought about, they've forgotten what brought them joy when they were a child, right? And so when I talk about the healing with the inner child, it's also just allowing the inner child to be present, allowing them to be in that innocence, be in that joy, be in that same energy that it was in, when you were younger, right? When there was no care in the world, when there was no worry in the world. And so for me, what brought me joy as a child was nature. And I mean, playing out in nature, playing alone at that. And that meant chasing butterflies, being curious about the insects and the bugs and the plants. I used to catch the ladybugs and take them home. Probably shouldn't have did that, but I did. And during the winter time, when it would rain, I would also play out in the mud with the worms, I love that stuff. And nature always brought me a sense of joy and playfulness and just felt good. And today, if you follow me at all, I talk a lot about nature, or I'm capturing different scenes of nature. But what you're seeing is my inner child activating my joy and appreciating my joy and just feeling good about nature. And that's what brings me joy today. One of the things that brings me joy. And I was inspired to come on and talk about that because yesterday, I want to tell a story. Yesterday, after I was working and had a good day of work, I gave myself permission to take a break. And one of the ways in which I do that is I go find a nature spot. And so I went to one of the rose gardens here in Oakland, and it was just, the roses are blooming. Oh my God. It was so beautiful. I just sat on the bench, just brought my journal, and I'm just appreciating all of the different types of roses and the smells and the scents and the colors and just the vibration that was in that space, was of abundance and joy and peace and ease for me. And so after that, I walked back to my car and I got into the car. And as I was getting ready to put my seatbelt on, I turned to the left of me, and right on my window, there was a honeybee. And the honeybee was just slowly moving and positioning itself to it was like facing me. And so it's looking at me, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh my, let me try to capture this moment, right? Sometimes you just got to be in the moment. But I'm trying to be in the moment and like, oh, I got to record this. But by the time I got my phone together, I looked back and it was gone, right? And so, but I'm so glad that it came to visit me because it reminded me, you know what, let me look into this. Because when I'm out in nature, I realize nature always has a lesson. And sometimes it's like, little creatures or things come to you in different ways. And for me, I'm curious. Like, let me look this up and just see what it means. And first, let me also say, bees have been coming to me for many years in different ways. They have come to rest on my screen gate, on my car, to rest on me, like literally sit on me and just breathe and rest and just be present. They have they buzz around my head a lot, And this has been going on for many, many years. And so what I did was I looked it up. I found this really great article, and it gave me so much clarity. I mean, just some of the things I learned about why the honeybees were coming to me in different ways and what that meant. And one of the things I read in the article was like, they're very vibrational and frequency like creatures, right? So what I read was they can see the brightness in your aura. So I don't know if you probably heard in the past, like growing up, I used to hear, don't wear bright colors because the bees will, they're attracted to bright colors. But it doesn't matter what color you are wearing, they can read your aura. And so now I understand why they dance around my head or in front of me, because they can read my aura. They can see the brightness in my aura. And so that was great clarity. I also learned that they land on you or on your car or, whatever, because they feel safe. They feel like just as safe as they feel in their hive with the queen bee. They feel safe to be on you or with you or around you. And so I was like, wow, so that makes a lot of sense. And there was so many other things in that article. I'm not here to, really go into depth, but really I wanted to share just the curiosity of the inner child, what allowed me to be curious about, well, what does this mean, this coming to me, or just appreciating, what brings me joy and what it leads to. And so I just encourage you, how often do you allow yourself to activate your joy, the joy that your inner child used to experience? Because wherever we are, wherever we go, unless you are just 100% healed, even then, we carry our inner child with us. We carry our past selves with us, whether if it's the good memories or the challenging memories, right? So how do we allow ourselves to heal with our inner child and simultaneously activate the joy that your inner child wants to feel? So anywho, that is my lesson. I pray that it blesses somebody today, or, at the sound of my voice, whenever you're catching this replay. I hope that it blesses you in some way. And yes, I'm going to invite you to the Healing, Be Gentle and Healing with the Inner Child workshop happening this Thursday. Happening this Saturday from 12 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And last week's workshop was amazing. And I'm so excited. I already got several registrations and there's still some spots available. We're going to be definitely taking some time out to heal with our inner child, our past self, and to be able to tell our current self what she needs to hear from our empowered self. So if you want to learn more about that or register, click the link in my bio. Would love to have you, sis. It's going to be great. Have a beautiful day. Peace, love, and light.